The OG Bloodline's fifth man is none other than... and it might surprise you as to why. Also, our pick for Women's Wargames gets booted by Rhea Ripley. All that and more on this week's edition of Raw Replay. Liv invites Nia, Tiff, and LeRae to the ring. Nia tells Liv, "I don't like you, I don't dislike you, I don't think of you at all. But Jade and Bianca, I can't stop thinking of you." Jade, Bianca, and Naomi respond, along with Io Sky. Liv points out that it's 5-on-4 and they're outnumbered. Immediately, this confirms a women's war games. But hold on, who's the fifth woman? It's Rhea Bloody Ripley, looking like undashing Cody Rhodes. After all this time away, Rhea only has one word for Liv. War game! And the brawl breaks loose. If you managed to avoid spoilers, bless your heart, but I didn't, so this didn't quite hit for me, as it might have for you. Also, it looks like my previous pick for fifth woman, Bayley, will be taking the backseat so Rhea and Liv can keep their relentless feud going. I hope this war game ends the feud between Liv and Rhea, but something tells me WWE is gonna serve us this rivalry long past its expiration date. Personally, it feels to me that this storyline has run its course, but money talks, and it looks like Bayley's gonna have to walk. Her inclusion on the SmackDown last week seems like it was inconsequential, especially considering that Naomi lost her match against Nia after all that was said and done. But she has the Women's United States Championship tournament to look forward to now, so it's not all bad for Bayley. With that, the Women's War Games match is set, along with a War Games advantage match between Bianca and Nia. The match that should have been the main event ends up opening the show. I'm tired of the Intercontinental Championship not getting the respect it deserves just because Gunther isn't wearing it. However, Braun Breaker and Sheamus put on the banger we all expected. The match had a pretty decent runtime and the two men gave it all they had. This was a PLE match in my opinion, and it still could be, seeing as Ludwig Kaiser sends this match into a no contest, taking Gunther's words of wisdom from earlier in the show to heart and making a name for himself as a single star. I smell a triple threat coming for the Intercontinental title. Do you? I just hope the WWE can make it a PLE match because the IC title could really use a boost in prestige. I still can't believe they gave us Breaker versus Uso on a random Monday Night Raw. I will say, however, it does add some excitement and stakes to weekly television, so I'm actually partially a fan of this method in moderation. God damn it, these men have earned a PLE spot, so give them a PLE spot, please. The Bloodline begs Seth to join them for War Games again, since Bronson joined solo on SmackDown, which was definitely not recorded after this. The fact that this show was taped before Bronson Reed officially joined the War Games picture kinda left a stain on this segment. The piped-in crowd reactions really give backstage segments a different feel on taped shows. Either way, it ain't happening. Seth is most definitely not supporting Roman Reigns, no matter what. Which leaves us wondering who could possibly make sense as the OG Bloodline's fifth man. Well, we actually have a prediction for you on that, so stick around with us to the end and find out. Judgment Day rally backstage before Dominic and Carlito's match against War Raiders. Finn gives them a pep talk, but the whole thing feels like a microaggression. Look, it's no secret that Judgment Day is at an all-time low right now. Damian and Rhea have left the group to find mega success in the main event scene, and while JD and Finn hold the Raw Tag Team titles right now, they don't really feel like champions. They never defend, and even GM Adam Pearce has called them out for it. The only person holding them above water right now is someone who joined them just to spite Rhea. Liv Morgan is the World Heavyweight Champion, yes, but is she really part of the family? It doesn't feel like it. I'm sure Balor knows Liv's alliance is to herself and her championship gold, not the Judgment Day. If you need more proof of Judgment Day's fall from grace, just look at their booking. This time last year, they were in the main event of Survivor Series Wargames, going up against the most high-profile superstars in the industry. And now, just days away from this year's Survivor Series, they're worried about losing a mid-card match against War Raiders, and are nowhere near the main event scene. You think Finn Balor, a former world champion, doesn't think of these things? Finn is going to a very dark place, and you know what happens when Finn Balor goes dark. Demon Finn Balor versus Uncle Howdy? Book it, please. Dom and Carlito get destroyed by the War Raiders. It's good to see the War Raiders shake that tired Viking gimmick and capture some early wins in the mid-card. They even got the crowd chanting, "War, war, war." These dudes are killers in the ring, and they deserve to get a shot at those tag titles. Speaking of, the guys who never defend those titles are back, but only after Dom and Carlito's humiliating defeat. I think that was all part of the plan though, seeing as Finn and JD want to look all tough and all. We'll see how tough they are once they step in the squared circle with the War Raiders. The Miz and Karrion Kross, an unholy union we didn't know we needed. It's no secret these two superstars cut a great promo. Both Kross and Miz are killer on the mic, but what may surprise you is how effortlessly they come together to create an undeniable chemistry. We get a grindhouse film-like vignette covering the current feud between Final Testament and the Wyatt Six. It's spliced together with a clever promo from Miz and Kross, who seem to be best buddies now. Miz starts off sounding rather repentant as he says, "It has been an emotional couple of weeks." We flash back to his abduction by the Wyatts, saying he's not with the Final Testament, and Miz tells us, "Now looking back." We get a soundbite from Miz promising he changed his ways following his run-in with the Wyatts, and then we run through last week's encounter where Karrion drags Miz to the ring, bloody-eyed and all, and Miz continues to say, "I can honestly say that I truly hope that the Academy saw that performance because that was the performance of a lifetime." Miz says he deserves an Oscar for convincing Howdy that Miz could ever change his ways. The Miz delivers the line of the night, saying, "You think Chalamet ever bled for his art?" referring to his bloody eye last week. It was a masterclass in acting convincing those freaks that they could ever change me, Miz says. Karrion then steps in and sounds like he believes what he's doing is righteous, implying that he is simply doing what he always does, showing the world the truth. The truth is, the Wyatts are just a bunch of wounded people using others to make themselves feel better. I find this ironic, seeing as that's exactly what Final Testament has been doing. A big reason why I think this feud works so well is that there are parallels between the two factions here. They're both downtrodden, overlooked, and self-proclaimed truth seekers who are on a mission to expose the roster for who they truly are. Both factions have a savior complex, they just go about it in entirely different ways. Karrion says he's not afraid of Howdy, but his face says otherwise on the last Raw when Howdy's laughter seemed to unsettle him. There's so much in this promo we could make an entire video about it, but the bottom line is, this is the Wargames we should have gotten in place of Rhea and Liv's rushed mess of a match. WWE, if you're listening, can we have 3 Wargames this year? Is that a thing? Can we just make that a thing? If we're not going to get the Wyatt Six on this show, can we at least get a vignette? Oh, would you look at that? The Wyatt Six respond in yet another brilliant VHS segment. This video package gave me chills, not because the Wyatt Six are so haunting, no, because when I look at Bo Dallas here, delivering an eloquent monologue on salvation, with complete and utter commitment in each and every word he spoke, I see Wyndham. Bray Wyatt truly lives on in the words of the Red, as Bo Dallas, not Howdy, delivers a haunting promo about liars and how a liar's most useful tool is the trust of the innocent. The Wyatts offered Miz salvation, freedom from the pit. Bo tells Miz, "I'm sorry for what happens next, but you chose this." The face of Howdy flashes as Bo continues this prophetic monologue. "Your hand will forever be bloodstained, crimson, scarlet, red, because of your actions, and you will lose what matters most. I never wanted this." Bo Dallas continues to prove to us that he has the chops to fill his brother's shoes, cutting solid video packages. But we've yet to see him do it live. I hope with all my heart he gets the chance to show us soon, but for now, I'm just happy we get to see Bray's legacy continue. It was the right move to take the mask off and look us dead in the eye. I think the balance between Bo and Howdy should lean more Bo. If the Wyatts continue to embrace their humanity by showing us the people underneath the mask, us as the audience will be quicker to connect with them. There is a very real story about grief and retribution here. And now it's time for your main event. Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins go at it again in their much-anticipated rematch. Both of the Bloodlines come out and brawl at ringside until the brawl drifts out of the building. And Seth is clear to regain his control over the match and deliver yet another slew of curb stomps to Bronson Reed. But wait, who's that standing on the commentary desk? It's Solo. What a twist! I didn't see it coming. Apparently, the mere presence of Solo Sikoa is enough to cost Rollins the win over Reed. And we go off the air with Solo raising the hand of a victorious Bronson Reed. Congratulations. Cool, great. Reed finally gets the win he needed, except it doesn't feel as great because we already pivoted him on SmackDown and this match feels like old news. But there's a takeaway here. The thing that's on everyone's mind, the unresolved central conflict here is who in the hell, if not Rollins, will be the fifth man for the OG Bloodline. My current guess is, drumroll please, CM Punk. I was seeing this take online and I chalked it up to fanboy theory and recency bias because Punk's debut was at Wargames last year, but upon further investigation, I discovered this theory goes much deeper. June 21st, 2024,
SmackDown
is live from Chicago. CM Punk cuts a promo in front of a rabid Chicago crowd, and who other than the wise man, Paul Heyman, should interrupt a CM Punk promo. Paul Heyman literally calls CM Punk his best friend. He even recalls how Punk was seated next to his own son at the Hall of Fame induction, despite being the wise man for our tribal chief. Punk responds by saying, "There's only one person in the world who can hijack my promo and get them to chant Roman Reigns, and it's you. I forgive you. Get in here." They hugged, and Heyman tears up, because he needed that hug, because Solo was putting him through so much. Heyman tells CM Punk he needs a favor in return for a favor. CM Punk's favor is Heyman warning Punk that Solo and the Tongans are about to come for him if he doesn't leave Chicago right now. That's when Solo and his bloodline step up to CM Punk in his hometown. Punk asks, whoa, what was that favor you wanted? Paul Heyman says,
"Take me with you?"
And there you have it. Paul Heyman himself, the wise man, pleaded for help from CM Punk to take him away from the terrible tyrant Solo. He trusted CM Punk so much, he was the one and only person he came to, a person he calls his best friend. And last week, who did Roman call? Now looking back at this segment, it couldn't have been for nothing. I mean, with Cody focused on the whole Kevin Owens situation and Randy Orton being out of commission, it seems to me that CM Punk is the only reasonable choice for fifth man. But I'm not the only fan who forgot about this Chicago incident between Solo and Punk. So all roads lead to Punk, but the question is, how do we get to that destination? I'm curious to know if you have any theories of your own. But for now, I give this Monday Night Raw 4 out of 10. What did you think of this week's Raw? Did spoilers ruin your experience like it did for me? Is CM Punk the fifth man? Whatever you do, don't leave your hot takes in the comments. Solo will find you, he'll stand on your announce desk menacingly, and you won't be able to focus on anything. So don't leave a comment, please. Every town is Solo Town. He's your one and only tribal chief. I love you, Solo.
The number you have reached is not in service. This is a recording.